In South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa once again has faced criticism over his Phala farm during a question and answer session. In Parliament on Tuesday, he also faced questions from opposition politicians over the management of policing and security in the country. Ramaphosa was answering questions as part of regular question and answer sessions with MPs. The interactions had moments of chaos, with some EFF MPs being thrown out of the sitting. Diane Hawker, South African journalist, editor, joins me to unpack this latest development. Diane, good to see you and thanks for your time. Now, the question on the Phala farm issue was expected to dominate the proceedings, but it came right at the end of the session. How did things unfold?
Yes, absolutely. We saw the president deal with quite a number of other questions before getting to what was kind of the main show for the day, which was the Phala issue. Now, the question was question number 11 or number 10 on the list. So he went through quite a lot of other issues dealing with security matters, migration, the issue of whether the Limpopo MEC for Health, Poppy Ramathuba, should have actually addressed a patient from Zimbabwe and asked them why they were coming to South Africa for healthcare. And only after dealing with all of that did he then come to the Phala issue, which we knew was going to be a big topic because towards the beginning of the session already, members from the EFF were calling points of order, saying that that question should actually be addressed right at the beginning. Unfortunately, it didn't go well for the MPs who asked that questions. A lot of them felt that they were actually left wanting with the response that came from President Ramaphosa.
And we understand the MPs were unhappy with Ramaphosa's answers as well as the conduct of the Speaker. Tell us, if you will, why were they disappointed?
Well, the question that had come from a member of parliament by the name of Zungula, who is from the ATM party, he had actually asked the president whether he would have done anything differently. And his question also asked about whether the president has confidence in the policing service. And the president then proceeded to answer something that was quite different from what was actually asked, saying that he has said before that he will not currently respond to questions on Phala. He'll only respond to the police in their investigations. So the members of parliament were quite unhappy with that response, saying that the president was actually avoiding accountability. And I think the thing that then sort of triggered more of an unhappiness was when the Speaker of Parliament tried to explain that there would be another opportunity through another committee process where they could ask these questions about Phala. Members from the EFF, such as Julius Malema, responding to say that the Speaker is actually trying to defend the president. And he brought up an issue that Parliament had been previously criticized in the State Capture Commission of Inquiry for not being hard enough on the executive and not really holding the executive accountable, which is their core responsibility. So there's definitely quite a lot of unhappiness about the Speaker's role. And we often see the Speaker actually being taken to court after sittings like this, where there's a lot of unhappiness with what takes place. So it might be something where we once again see another legal battle over how the sitting was handled. Another issue that was raised, Suleiman, was that the time ran out and members of parliament felt that more follow-up questions should have been allowed in the sitting, as opposed to the speaker saying that the 3 hours or 4 hours that were originally allocated had now run out and it was time for parliament to end its session.
And from your observation, what do you think? Do you think this is end of the road for members of parliament to have a chance of bringing such questions or follow-up before the president?
Definitely not the end of the road. I actually think it is only the beginning of these kind of questions for President Ramaphosa. We must bear in mind that South Africa is approaching elections in 2024, and the president does have a responsibility to go to parliament several times a year. I think it's either 3 or 4 times each year, but it's usually once a quarter. And I foresee that if this Phala issue is not kind of resolved or addressed by the time that the 2024 polls come around, it will end up being a major election issue. And it will also be a big issue every single time that he comes to parliament, because the EFF and other opposition parties have already said that they will not let this matter rest. There is also a request for a motion of no confidence in Ramaphosa. This has not yet been confirmed by the speaker, but it has been put on the table as a request from opposition parties. So if that is eventually debated, then there would be another opportunity for them to bring up the issue of Phala.
And quickly here, Diana, one other issue that came up has to do with the complaints and performance of the Police Affairs Minister. And so why is this being raised before the president?
Yes, absolutely. This is a part of the questions that were being brought by the opposition party members. They had asked the president whether he still has confidence in the police commissioner, Bheki Cele. I think that there are quite a lot of issues that have recently come up relating to policing. We had the crime statistics released not so long ago, and the police actually indicated that there were 6,000 murders within a 3-month period in South Africa, which is quite a lot of murders. And in addition to that, the police are dealing with quite a serious staff shortage. The police commissioner said that between 2010 and now, there are 20,000 less police officers, which doesn't quite make sense because the population has increased in that 10-year period, but the police force has decreased. And of course, we have seen these very devastating shooting incidents taking place at taverns. We've also seen issues with the police forensic department that have delayed the outcome of cases, including serious criminal matters such as rape matters, sexual assault matters, all being delayed because there is a massive backlog at the moment within the police forensic laboratories. So when you look at the state of policing in South Africa, it's not really in a good state, with some members of parliament questioning whether there isn't a need for the police to do more work in terms of their cooperation with the military. The military doesn't operate within the borders of South Africa unless the president specifically requests it. However, members of parliament are suggesting that because of these issues within the police, that the government should start relying more on the SANDF.
Diane Hawker, many thanks for unpacking this for us.